toast. It's actually warmer outside than it is on the inside. Now, I'm here to do my daily drop, and so I cordially invite you to pass comment or to thumbs up or to subscribe onto the Pattern Interrupter Challenge. That would be great. But by the same token, I'm not forcing you to do so, and I wouldn't dream of doing so either. What I'd like to talk to you about today is how saying sorry is causing you a problem. When you say sorry, at the drop of a hat, for whatever situation, you're signaling a world of bad intentions to people. What you're signaling to people when you say sorry for things that you're not sorry about is that you are essentially living in a dishonest paradigm. I know it's socially acceptable to say sorry when you bump into somebody or when you pick up the wrong cup or whatever, brush against somebody. But a better way to express yourself when you do these things is to say, pardon me, or I apologize. Why? What is the semantic difference? Well, the semantic difference is that when you say, I'm sorry, you're signaling that you feel internally that you are a sorry individual. And every time you say sorry when you're not sorry, you are signaling to yourself that you are a submissive and irresponsible person. Now, when I say irresponsible, I don't mean that you go around wreaking havoc. What I mean is that you're not actually taking responsibility for your actions. By saying sorry, what you're doing is you're throwing a dead cat, an emotional dead cat, onto somebody else's table. Are we going too deep into this? No, I don't believe so. I think, for what it's worth, that our internal dialogue and the story that we tell ourselves is echoed by the behaviors we betray on the exterior. So, when you find yourself in a situation which may be borderline regrettable or inconvenient, and you tell people that you're sorry, you're signaling a world of misinformation to people. If you live a life well, and you don't find yourself in extremely stressful situations. When I talk about extremely stressful, I'm talking about war-torn, trauma, those kind of things. If you live a life well, it may be that if you're fortunate, you can get through it by being truly sorry a mere 10 times, numbers you can count on two hands in your life. But what we do is we go around signaling that we are sorry for the smallest of events. What does it mean to be sorry? Being sorry means to be deeply, personally hurt, contrite, regretful. It means to be somebody who is thinking in terms of, I wish I could replay time, do it differently, I've hurt others. That's what being sorry means. But when you bump into someone in the supermarket and you tell them you're sorry, you're really not signaling the right message, either to yourself or to others. So how can we qualify this? How can we still signal that we regret something without signaling that we are pitiful? Well, we use terms like, I apologize, pardon me. I invite you, as an experiment, for the next week, to remove the words, I'm sorry, from your vocabulary. Unless, of course, you are in a situation where you're truly sorry. I invite you, and if that is the case, you have my deepest sympathy. I invite you to remove the terms, I'm sorry, from your vocabulary. Try it for a week. Instead of bumping into people and saying you're sorry for the smallest of situations, start to say, I apologize. What is the subtle difference? What do you think the subtle difference is? I mean, I can tell you if you like. Trust me, I'm going to. But what I'd like to know is, what do you think is the subtle difference between saying, I'm sorry, and I apologize? Think about it, just for a moment. Internalize the idea. And now I'll tell you what I think the difference is. When you say, I'm sorry, You're hurling emotional baggage at people, and you're inviting them to somehow share in that covert contract. The covert contract that being that you are pitiful, you're not responsible, and really you desire and deserve pity. When you say, I apologize, you are advertising to the world that you are taking charge for the thing that you did wrong. So I apologize respects the situation, whereas I'm sorry creates a nebulous, vague interaction. How do you expect people to act if you keep throwing nebulous, vague situations at them? How do you expect people to react when you throw out the idea that you are a submissive person who doesn't take responsibility for their actions? Because when you say, I'm sorry, that's what you're doing. You're deflecting your responsibility and expecting other people to pick up the emotional tab. And I know you might be thinking this is a subtle semantic distinction, but think of it in these terms. The narrative that you carry in your own mind, the way that you see yourself within your own mind, the way that you have run the neurowiring and the habits and the habitual loops and subroutines in your own mind is going to be echoed by how you act. So every time you say, I'm sorry, you're compounding an error. It's an error of language, it's an error of intention, and it's an error of judgment. Have a think about it. Do the experiment. See if you can remove the term I'm sorry from your vocabulary for 1 week. Get back to me afterwards if you wish, here on the Pattern Interrupter channel, and let's see where we stand. My name is Lee Clark. I do a daily drop, and I look forward to doing a daily drop tomorrow. To tell you the truth, tomorrow's going to be an interesting situation because I've got to drive down to the airport and pick up some loved ones. So I'll probably be doing my daily drop from the car as I go down. It'll be a 3-hour journey, so tomorrow I might be in the dark. And guess what? I make no apology for that. So I'm going to leave you now with one final thought, if I may, which is, whatever it is you dare to do or dream, you can begin it now. So begin now. Stop saying, I'm sorry.